Welcome to Spirit-Led Radio. I'm your host, Heather Christian Strang, and this week we are talking about how you can create peace in this world. This is a real thing. You actually can create peace in the world. Are you ready to hear about how to do this? I was inspired, and the guidance was to come through, and the guidance came through to share this because of recent world events. Now, depending on when you're listening to this episode, who knows what's happening in the world, but whatever it is, it's really getting you, that you're really seeing happening out there in the world, and you're like, God damn it, why is this still happening? Why are we still repeating these patterns and cycles that do not serve us? And it's easy to be the viewer, see what's happening, observe it, and be pissed about it or upset about it or feel sad, right? Some people feel tremendous grief when they see what many around the world might be experiencing that is not in alignment, and yet they do nothing. Now, maybe we send prayers, maybe we say kind words, but ultimately that doesn't do as much as what I'm about to share with you today. Because when you recognize and understand that you have the capacity, just you, as the one person that you are, you have the capacity to create a vibration of peace that ripples out into the universe and creates an upliftment of vibration of energy that helps contribute to the spreading of peace, not the opposite of peace in our world. When you are able to recognize that, you know your power and your divinity at a new level. Now, so much of my work, and as things are continuing to evolve in my own path and how I'm living in this world and the work that I'm doing, we're really coming into this evolution around being able to embody our divinity. In fact, my next class begins May 3rd of 2016. It's called Spirit-Led Mastery, and we're dealing with exactly that, attuning you to be able to embody your divinity, because when you know that you are divine, when you understand who you really are, and do you understand who you really are? Do you know? You're not just like this one random person living in the world, like struggling with things. You're not on your own doing this. You are a powerful, powerful spirit. You have lived many, many lifetimes to support the evolution of previous wounds, to support the evolution of the collective in ending the silliness, the misalignment of vibrations that are the opposite of peace and love. You came here with powerful intent to do exactly that, except you know what happens? Sometimes you get distracted, right? You get distracted by the grocery list, what you're going to make for dinner, that annoying person who cut you off in traffic. And what you don't recognize is that your reaction to those very things and your actions around those very things either help support an environment of peace or support an environment of the opposite of peace. Now, why and how do we know this? Well, we know that everything is energy, right? I think we can all agree on that. Thank you, Einstein. Thank you, all of the great minds that have been able to show us for so long, like, hey guys, everything is energy. Energy can't be destroyed. Do the math, right? You are here on an eternal journey. Your physical form changes and shifts, but you're here for the long haul. We all are. And we planned it just like this. So everything is energy, which means the words that I'm using right now are a form of energy. Your thoughts are a form of energy. Your emotions are a form of energy. Everything is energy. This table I'm touching right here is energy. The digi-recorder I'm holding contains energy. Every single bit of everything is made of energy. Every bit of everything has some type of living component in it. And as humans, spirits in a body, as the JOGs call us, we are the most advanced form of energy. We are this culmination of this beautiful evolution of mind, body, spirit. And we have this tremendous opportunity to heal the wound of separation, which is really the core wound. You've heard me talk about this before. The core wound that we all had, because when our spirit came into a body, something happened we didn't anticipate happening, which is we felt separate. We felt separate from the source and the divinity that we are. And we are all on this journey of evolving forward our ability to step into our divinity and remember, oh wait, there is no separation. Oh shit, every action I take actually has a powerful impact on what's happening in the collective. And so when we see things happening in the world, violent things or things we don't like to see, there's only one person that we can hold responsible for that. And that is ourself. Where am I in my vibration and in my life contributing to the misalignment of energy that is the opposite of peace in this world? And we all do it. No one is exempt from this. I don't care who the guru blah, blah, blah is or, who we think we are. We all have aspects of ourself that are not in a total state of peace. And that's okay. That's good news because this is what we're here to evolve forward. However, there are many, many, many areas where you are not living your most peaceful life that you could easily clean up. I didn't even know peace was important to me. So because I had been in survival mode for so many years and so long, that's how I was raised. We're just trying to survive, man, and maybe get wasted on the weekends and have some fun and blow off some steam, but really we're just trying to get by. So when you're able to step out of that survival mode, you recognize, wait, life is about more than surviving. Life is even more about thriving. It's definitely about thriving, but it's about even more than thriving. It's about how can I enjoy this life experience and have the most positive impact I can have. But I didn't know any of that. So I was in survival mode, got out of survival mode, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool, living in abundance. I love this. And then, I was manifesting like a mofo. Back in the day, I was still in an area of consciousness that said, oh, I know these things about energy and the laws of the universe. Let me manipulate and control this energy to have what I want. That is not co-creative. That is not co-creative at all. It's very manipulative and doesn't actually allow us to live our highest path. So now I'm in this new framework. I'm like, oh my God, it's not about me controlling the energy and telling spirit what's up. It's about me walking side by side with spirit to really do what I came here to do and live the fullness of what it means to be a spirit in a body. Right, which is so much more beyond survival, so much more expansive, even beyond I want to thrive. I want to thrive and I want to make an impact. I want to thrive and make the world a better place in my part of the world. And so through this process, I realized, oh my God, a big part of this is that I've got to feel peaceful. How can I really have a positive impact in the world if I'm in self-hatred, if I'm in self-loathing, if I'm in judgment? None of that allows for you to be in a vibration of peace. And so I made it my intention that I would not do anything unless it brought me peace. I would take no action. I would see no person. I would do no thing unless it brought me peace. Now you have to understand, I created a life that was really about fulfilling what everyone else wanted for me and what the stories I had told myself that I wanted for me. In 2014, I was in a state of book deal and my business is at 6 figures and all these things are happening. I'm engaged and there's all this energy around me and getting on stages and do all these things. Except none of that was bringing me peace. Not one of those things was bringing me peace. Can you believe that? I woke up, not one thing in my life was bringing me peace. How was I contributing to the absence of violence in our world? I was not. I was contributing to the energy of chaos, confusion, too much going on, overwhelmment, following the path that someone else wanted for me. And that was not contributing positively to our world. So I realized that I had done this, that I had created this. This is no one's fault. I did this. I jumped on board. I was making this happen, which also meant I can make something new happen. And so I committed to a life of peace. And I want to encourage you to look at your own life right now and say, what is the energy that I'm putting out into the world? Am I putting an energy of peace out into the world? And this is how you know if you are, you feel peaceful. That's how you know if you're contributing the energy of peace or the opposite of peace to the world. So when we see things happening in the world and we want to get into this mode of like, oh, it's so sad, it's so terrible, oh my God, who are these people doing these things and these bad people? Oh, no. These are not bad people. These are people that are mirroring back to me some non-peaceful vibration that I need to clean up within myself. So how do you know if this is the case for you? If you get really triggered by world events that are happening. So you're seeing things happen and you feel really sad, you feel really upset, you feel really angry, you feel really in judgment. In the political climate, the international climate, whatever it is, if you feel a charge of a less than abundant, joyful energy, that's your indicator that, oh, there's something for me in this. There's something I need to do. So, for instance, there's something in the world happening and we feel a pull, we feel upset. We're not able to see it through the eyes of source. We just feel angry. We feel angry about the people that are hurting other people. So what we've got to do in that moment, what you need to do in that very moment that you identify that emotion within yourself is to say, where am I in a state of violence in my life? Where am I not self-loving and self-supporting and feeling uplifted and bringing upliftment to others? Living a life of peace means we don't do the common practices that we hear that like, oh, you've just got to push through your fear and you've got to just make things happen. It means we get really curious with our emotions. We get really curious and we say, wait a second, I'm committed to a life of peace because I know my vibration matters. And if I'm in a less than peaceful state, I'm putting that vibration out into the universe. And then when I see things in the world happening that are not peaceful, guess who gets to be responsible for that? I am part of that. So when we see things happening in the world and they upset us, and we're seeing it, we're like, why the hell is this happening? Why are we still in these patterns of violence or whatever it might be? It just means we have not cleaned up our vibration around this. Now, in my earlier example in 2014, I wasn't hurting anybody. I wasn't violent. I was probably flipping people off occasionally on the road, right? But overtly, I was not an overtly violent person. I was not having overtly violent experiences. But I was living a life that was not in a state of peace, which meant I was contributing to non-peace in the world. So I had to clean that up, and I had to clean it up fast. And that meant getting really honest with myself about what I really wanted to do, what really mattered to me, the people I really wanted to have in my life. There are so many amazing people in the world. But unless that relationship makes me feel good about me and makes me feel supported and loved and at peace, can't have you in my life. And not from a place of pushing against, right? So this is where we cannot be in black and white thinking. We have to really be in the state of understanding energy and understanding how life works. If someone is in your space and they're continually bringing you into your life, into your dynamic, a state of non-peace, you've got to clean up wherever that's at within you that has summoned that, and then you let them go in peace. You look at the work you're doing in the world. Am I contributing peace and goodwill? If I'm not, where do I need to clean that up so I am? When I see things happening in the world that upset me, what can I immediately do within myself to shift maybe the negative self-talk? Do I need to bring in a mentor? Do I need to bring in a practitioner? Do I need to make a 30-day commitment, start a 30-day challenge with yourself that I'm only going to speak positively. I'm only going to say positive things to myself. I'm only going to speak positively about myself, whatever it might be. When I notice myself judging others, I know that that's a mirror of my own judgment of myself. Where am I judging myself? How do I clean that up within myself? This is how we create a life of peace that then allows us to see in the world peaceful experiences. So it's also true that things will not come into your experience unless you're a vibrational match in some way for them. So if you're getting just inundated with news about this bad thing and that bad thing, whatever it might be, it's time to look at, How are you contributing to that vibration in the world? And how can you make some shifts right here, right now? Not talk about making shifts, not make a list about things you might change. I'm talking about doing something right here, right now. So maybe that's immediately getting online and you send money to a relief organization that's supporting whatever's happening in the world. And then you schedule an appointment with your spiritual counselor or your spiritual mentor or your spiritual practitioner to clean up where in your vibration this exists within you. So what I would love in my fantasy world, in my dream world, when we see something happen in the world that's less than peaceful, some kind of attack happening or some kind of activity happening that is less than supportive of the whole, that we get really clear on where is that showing up within me? Where is that hatred of another, which is really a mirror of my own self-hatred, right? Anytime we're judging someone else or we're putting down or marginalizing anyone outside of us, that's just a reflection of what our self-talk is. And then in my dream world, we would all stop, we'd see what that was for ourselves, and we'd dial up our mentor, our practitioner, our spiritual counselor, and say, all right, I found this, it's within me. My intention is to release this from myself so it can stop manifesting in the collective. Right? Imagine if we all did that. Imagine what would happen. Well, I'll tell you exactly what would happen. We would live in a world of peace. Right? Gandhi, bless him, told us so long ago, you want change in the world, you got to freaking be that change. And not talk about being the change. Right? Because I've seen now, I've been in this swirl for about 10 years of living life in a different way, in a completely non-mainstream way. And even outside of what we would call new thought or new age, because this is really about living my highest path. This is about living spirit-led. Right? This is a whole other way. It's a higher dimensional way of being and living in the world. And I've seen a lot of people over the 10 years talk about the changes they're going to make. I see people do one class, one session. Oh yeah, I'm going to do it. And not do anything. And what is so vital is that we do not let ourselves get away with that bullshit. If there is any area in your life that is not the way you desire it to be, that is on you 100%. And that is the best news you could ever receive, because it is on you 100% to shift that tomorrow if you choose. So the way to create peace in our world is to start with ourselves. To immediately notice where we're blaming, right? Those other people, the government officials, the politicians, the terrorists, those other people that we can blame it on. It's not them, guys. It's not. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with each one of us. Because governments don't just get created. Terrorist attacks don't just happen out of nowhere. There is a strong vibrational impact that creates that. And you are a part of it. And I am a part of it. And it is our job to do our work so this shit stops. And instead, we get to live in the magnificence that we came here for. Not the struggle, not the strife, not the survival, not even like, oh, I'm thriving, I'm living a good life. Okay, awesome. And what are you doing? What are you doing to contribute to this collective, to this planet? Because that's what we're here for. We're not here to hide out, live our abundant life. Yes, we're here to live abundantly, and we're here to make a difference in the world. A positive difference. But that doesn't happen just from writing checks. In fact, it doesn't happen from writing checks. We know that. We've seen enough of that to know. It happens from doing our work and keeping the focus off of what's wrong out there and keeping the focus on where is this within me, and being honest with ourselves. Really being honest with ourselves. Calling yourself out. Don't let yourself get away with the story that says, no, it's fine, it's good enough. Oh, it's negative self-talk, no problem. Self-hatred, no, I don't have that. If it's happening out in the world, you got it inside to some varying degree. And it's your job to heal that. So to create this peaceful world, I want you to think about what you need to do right now, today, to bring more peace into your life. Maybe it's letting go of something you've been hanging on to for a long time, a relationship, an opportunity, a job, an aspect of your work. For me, creating peace in my life meant getting really honest with myself and admitting something to myself that I'd kept hidden from myself for a very long time. In fact, my whole life. I'm an introvert. I did not know this. I spent my life thinking I'm extroverted. What I had learned was an extroverted coping mechanism to survive my childhood because nobody was speaking up in my family. And I'm an Aries, for God's sake. Somebody had to say something. But who I really am at the core is not this super extroverted, in-your-face person. That is not me. But I wore that for a long time. I think people would have described me as gregarious, very outgoing. I'm very enthusiastic. I have a very powerful presence. But I do not want to be on a stage. I do not want to be in person around tons of people. And I had to get really honest with myself. And so when I was looking at, oh my God, I've created this life and it is not contributing to peace in the world. How do I change that? The first thing was, I've got to feel peaceful every day. I make a commitment to feeling peaceful every day. So that means I've got to let go of aspects of my business that don't allow that for me. And what I realized is that doing the retreats, doing all the in-person stuff was totally depleting and draining my energy and creating a vibration of not peace within me. So I immediately had to change that. Oh my God, best decision ever. I felt like $1 million. I felt so much better. And I committed to creating a peaceful life no matter what. I didn't know what the outcome would be. I didn't know how it would shift to bring my business fully online, what would happen to my life if I did that, and what would happen to my business. Of course, it more than doubled, went from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures because I was in the truest alignment I'd ever been in. But that's not why we do it. We do it because we want to contribute to a vibration of peace on the planet. Because if there's not peace happening on the planet, we're part of that. We're part of the planet. So we have got to do our part. So I want you to think about the one thing you need to let go of, you need to shift, you need to change so that your life comes into a greater state of peace. Maybe it's that the kids don't have 10 after-school activities. Maybe they don't have any. Maybe they just have one. Maybe they're encouraged to read or go for walks out in nature or meditate. Maybe it's that I'm not going to work 9 to 5 and then go out to happy hour from 5 to 7 and then watch a TV show from 7 to 10 or whatever it is and then plop into bed. Maybe I'm going to stop scheduling so much. Maybe I'm going to let go of a relationship. Maybe I'm going to make daily meditation a priority. And if you're listening to this and you're not meditating daily, I'm telling you, meditate daily. It will make all the difference. So there are simple things that you can start to do right now, today, that allows you to contribute a vibration of peace to the planet and to the universe. Everything is energy. It's all vibration. What you're putting out into the world matters, even if you're not saying it to anyone. What's the story you're telling yourself? What is the way you're talking to yourself? What are the thoughts you're thinking about that person over there? Knock that shit off. It's not nice and it's not helpful. It does not bring anything good to the world. But how do you knock that off? You've got to go within yourself. Right? So if I'm judging someone else, it's because I'm judging me. All right. Where am I judging myself? What's this about? The minute I locate that and I recognize where it's at, first of all, no longer judging the other person. I can see them as the beautiful divine being that they are. And I feel so much more centered within myself. Now, I can hear some of you asking about, well, how do I feel peace in my life when I'm empathic, I'm a highly sensitive person, whatever label you want to give that, I'm introverted, and I'm feeling all this energy, that's moving with the astrological shifts or whatever it might be happening. We can also feel, when Mother Nature has made some big shifts or there are big attacks, events, activities, political climate shifts, we can feel all that. And I can hear you empaths asking, well, how do I contribute to peace? How do I have peace when that's happening? If you are empathic, highly sensitive, again, introverted, again, whatever you want to call it, advanced soul, whatever you want to call it, when you feel that energy, that's when you've got to go sit in meditation, right? Because you are holding an anchor for our collective, right? So I feel these things, right? I feel them. I'm like, okay, guys, what's going on? Tune in, find out, oh, I'm feeling something that's happening in the collective, astrologically, the cosmos, whatever it is. I was feeling all kinds of stuff from solar flare activity. I didn't even know that was like a legitimate thing. That was just something that the people made up as like, oh yeah, you can feel the solar flares. And it came through that like, yes, what you're feeling is an impact or an increase, of solar flare energy. So what do you do when you're empathic and you're feeling this stuff? You go into super peace mode. You go into pro peace mode, right? That's when I clear the deck. All right, I've got to go sit in meditation. Oh, yeah, I've had plans to do this. Sorry, not going to be able to do that. I've got to do my job, my work in bringing more peace into the world. And that starts with me anchoring my vibration and me being in a state of peace. Oh, I'm supposed to go somewhere and I'm feeling a lot of this energy swirling around. I'm going to stop. I'm going to take deep breaths. I'm going to ground. I'm going to use my tools. I'm going to tap out cortices. I'm going to read a message from the JOGs out loud. I'm going to do what I need to do to ground and be in a state of peace and then go out into the world. I want to encourage every single one of you listening to this to make peace the #1 priority in your life and watch how the magic begins to unfold in ways that you never imagined possible. Okay, and I also wanted to get the JOG's perspective, of course, and have their input in this radio episode. And so I consulted with A Life of Magic, an oracle for spirit-led living, and I said, what do we need to let people know about creating peace in the world? What do they need to know? How do we put an end to what we see happening out there? And I flipped to page 84, and I'm going to read that to you now. It says, the fantastic thing about all of this is you get to choose. You are choosing. And every moment you are choosing what energy you are putting out there, which helps you know the energy that is coming back to you. You can argue with this, you can disagree, you can scoff that it's not fair, but it does not matter what you say. It is law. It is how this blessed universe works that you are in, and we will encourage you to follow and work with the laws of the universe because only then can you experience the life you so desire and that you so deserve. All that you put out will come back to you 1,000,000-fold. We suggest, encourage, and ask that you make it as high vibrating, beautiful, and as in gratitude as possible. And when you do that, your life will be one beyond your wildest dreams. The JOGs. That is from A Life of Magic, an oracle for spirit-led living. So I didn't even get to the part, thank you JOGs, that they brought in, which is, oh, guess what? When you're putting out peace, that's what you get back. And so many are misunderstanding the laws of the universe. So many are thinking, well, I feel this anger and this hatred. I've got to go out and make someone pay for that. What they don't understand is they're going to get that back. What did the JOG say? 1,000,000-fold. That's right. So when you take another's life, you get to come back as a victim of that same experience. And when you've been a victim of that experience, you then in the next lifetime have the opportunity to make the choice. Will I pull that trigger? Will I take that action? Will I hurt another again? Or will I evolve forward? Will I choose peace? Every single thing that we put out there comes back to us. So if you're thinking shitty thoughts about yourself, shitty things are coming to you. If you're thinking amazing thoughts about yourself, amazing things are coming to you. That's literally like, how can it be that simple? It is that simple. And peace just does it all, guys. Peace does it all. You get the abundance, you get the joy, you get the love, you get the awesome when peace is your focus and when you commit to a life of peace. If you love this episode, please share it with your people. We need this message out there to all those who have ears to hear it and who are willing to live at this capacity and to live in this beautiful, vibrant, spirit-led way. Also, if you'd like to be a part of my online community and join the magic in living spirit-led and living this life that is unlike anything you've ever lived before, join us at heatherstrang.com. I'll put a link in the notes so that you can connect to my Oracle, A Life of Magic, and Oracle for Spirit-Led Living. And if you have questions that you would like to see addressed in our next episode, please email heatherstrangassistant@gmail.com. I am sending you so much love and so much peace and so much magic because you deserve it, because you are an amazing spirit in a body, and you came here to help radically transform the vibration of this planet. And I believe in you, and I see you, and I know you are ready for all that is calling you. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Much love.